Thank you so much for being here. Welcome. Hi, I'm Maggie Hunts, and I get to be the moderator for this incredible event. And I also get to be your host for on this page, the Unlock Your Superpowers Energy for Success Superhero Series. And today, we've got the greatest superhero of them all, Dr. Barry Morguelan. And he's going to be here just for you so that you get to have 90 minutes of Dr. Barry Morguelan teaching you all about the Energy for Success Source Energy Discipline. It's so exciting. We're so glad you're here today. And if you've had anyone that you've wanted to invite or you're not sure if they're here, go ahead and there's a link that'll be posted and is in the chat box. And go ahead and send that link to all the people that you know and the people that you want to do this energy with you. Because the reason you want to do that is because you'll get the repeat, you'll get the recording of this incredible event with Dr. Barry Morguelan. So please make sure we have your email because we want to send you this recording. And the reason that you want it is Dr. Barry Morguelan we call him Dr. B. So if you're wondering, Dr. B is for Dr. Barry, so you don't have to worry about spelling or pronouncing Morguelan. But Dr. B is going to walk you through different source energy for success, source energy practices, and energy for success, source energy breathing exercises. There'll be so many treats for you today. In fact, go ahead now and get a pen and paper because Dr. Morguelan is going to ask you to write some things later. And I want you to all be ready. So get a pen and paper so that when he asks you to write things down, you're all set. Because we want you to be comfortable and relaxed and just take in all this beautiful source energy you're going to get. Because anytime we get to be directly with Dr. Barry Morguelan at Energy for Success, you will get source energy. And as you know, you may be in our Energy for Success courses, or you may just be checking this out. And that's fantastic. We're so glad you're here. And with Dr. Barry Morguelan, anytime he's talking about energy for success, you'll get energy. And he'll also teach you different physical exercises that you can do. And what's so interesting is that Dr. Morguelan wanted to find things that could really make a difference for all of us in our lives. And he went all around the world. And when he was in the mountains of China, he learned from other ancient grand masters this 5,000-year-old Chinese discipline. And he simplified that and brought that for you today. So he's going to teach you simple practices, energy for success practices that you can do. And they will always give you energy. And then when you're fueled with energy, you want to write goals, energy for success goals, so you can focus that energy. And then you want to take the action steps towards your goals and notice all of the things that are happening in your life, your energy for success wins and your victories. And that keeps the cycle of energy going. So whether you're in our Energy for Success courses or not, we're going to give you beautiful things today that you can use to change the trajectory of your life right now. This is so exciting, and I can't wait for you to meet the greatest Energy for Success superhero we've got, Dr. Barry Morguelan, and he'll be on in just a moment. So do send the email that's been posted or in the chat room to anyone you'd like to join you or to have this recording so that you can see Dr. B is going to give you 90 minutes of fabulous education about how to use these source energy for success practices and how to write energy for success goals. This will be a fabulous training, and I'm so glad you're not missing it and that you don't want all the people that you know and love to miss it either. It's a golden opportunity. Thank you so much for being here. And remember to get your pen and paper so you have it handy so that when Dr. B asks you to write things down, you're all set and you have it with you. So be comfortable because we really want to bring you an absolutely life-altering event. And that's what we'll get in 90 minutes from Dr. B. So he'll be here any moment. Thank you so much for allowing me to welcome you here. We're so glad you're here for all of Energy for Success. Thank you so much for joining us and for giving yourself this gift of a lifetime. So I'm so excited, and it's such a privilege to be able to welcome you and to help us all be this space for when Dr. Morgulin joins us. Dr. B, as we like to call him, Dr. Barry. That was first given to him in China. And just like when he was training in China and he simplified these practices to bring them back for you all around the world, that's what he's going to teach us today. You have 90 minutes with Dr. Barry Morgulin. It's a beautiful thing. And anytime you do any of the practices that he's going to give you today, it will always bring you energy. Anytime you do the breathing Energy for Success guided exercises he's going to give you, it will bring you energy. So we're so happy that you're here and sharing it with your friends, and we all get to be part of this very sacred special event. So thanks for giving you this treat of 90 minutes with Dr. B so that you can learn even more about how you can use the Energy for Success courses and techniques in your life. Thank you for being here, and thank you for allowing me to welcome you. Yay! I'm so grateful. I'm so glad. So please do turn your cameras on. I just got a little notice because Dr. Morgulin would love to see you. It's really for the backstage pass people. You've given yourself a golden opportunity. So you want to be close to your camera. You want to have light on your face so Dr. Morgulin can see you, can see your aura, and he'll be sending everyone energy. So whether you have a beautiful backstage pass or you're listening, you're watching on Facebook, you will all get energy. So you want to write goals, source energy, Energy for Success goals, so you can focus that energy right where you want it to go, where you want it to go in your life. Dr. Morgulin doesn't supply the goals, you do. You get to say how you use this and how you want, what you want to achieve and how you want it to go. That's the absolute brilliance of the Energy for Success source energy techniques that he'll be teaching us today. We're all so excited and we're so grateful that you're here. So you can look and see in the chat box or on the post the link to this, so that if you want to send it to your friends, if you haven't invited them yet, or if you have, resend it so that way everyone who sends us their email gets to have a recording and you get to see again Dr. Morgulin teach us all these very sacred practices that work, and you'll get to enjoy that today. So we want you to enjoy that right now and have the difference that will absolutely change the trajectory of your life. No kidding. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm Maggie Huntz. I get to moderate this and welcome you. And I also get to moderate the Superhero series from Energy for Success. And today, you've got the greatest superhero, Energy for Success superhero there is, Dr. Barry Morgulin. And he'll be joining us in just a moment. So I had asked you get a pen and paper so that you can write down and take notes so that when Dr. Morgulin asks you to do so, you're all ready. So we want you comfortable. You might want some warm tea. He loves how that energy, how it travels through your body with the energy, and have your pen and paper handy. So you're all set for Dr. Morgulin. So do turn all your cameras on and have your face really close, well lit, because Dr. Morgulin would love to welcome you if you have a backstage pass. And he sends a welcome to everyone that's listening and watching on Unlock Your Superpowers page. Because he's so committed that you get to learn and use this energy for your life that he's giving you 90 minutes today. It's so exciting and it's a giant privilege. Thank you so much for being here so that you get to have that in your life. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. And Dr. Morgulin will be joining us any moment. Thank you. Thank you for being here. let's see, I wanted to tell you about the pen and paper so that you're all set. So be sure to have some. And you might find yourself wanting to take notes at different times. That's totally fabulous. And if you give us your email, and if you know we have it, we'll also send you the recording. So it's a very powerful thing, especially if you're new to Energy for Success. We would love for you to have that, so that you can replay and watch Dr. Morgulin teach you the practices, teach you the different physical movements that he's created that will bring you energy every time you do them. It's quite extraordinary, and he'll explain how all this works, and it's our gift to you. So we would love for you to join us in any of the Energy for Success courses, and he'll explain all that to you. And he will give you, no matter what you do, he will give you 90 minutes of source energy material right now, just for you. Thank you so much for allowing me the privilege of welcoming you. So make sure you have your pen and paper so you're all set. It's so great for you to be here. And for everyone with a backstage pass, Dr. Morgulin will see you. So, you know, it's a beautiful opportunity. And if you're on Facebook or listening, it's all golden. You are giving yourself the golden opportunity to change the trajectory of your life or enhance it even more. Go from fantastic to even better. All of that is possible using the Energy for Success source energy techniques and principles. And Dr. Morgulin will go through that for you in 90 minutes. Any moment he'll begin, and you are in for a treat. That's right, and it's a treat that changes your life. And anyone in the Energy for Success courses have felt that. And if you haven't yet, it's okay, it doesn't matter. Keep going, keep doing the different practices, keep writing the goals, you'll be all set. And Dr. Morgulin is about to join us. So I'd love to welcome and introduce you to Dr. Barry Morgulin.
You're in for a surprise. Today is going to be continuously going from here to here to here to here to here. I'm Dr. Barry Morgulin, and this is Energy for Success. This company was founded over 17 years ago after I came back from China over 25 years ago with this wonderful, wonderful technology that we're going to bring out to you today, and you're going to be able to start using the techniques today. So stay tuned. Put the dog outside, get your tea ready like Maggie was saying for you, and we're even going to have interaction, and if there's time, we're going to have Q&A at the end. I can't wait till you find every exciting thing that's going to happen for you today. It's going to surprise you how you're going to feel like, oh, as the day's going on, I'm feeling lighter and happier and more ready to go. And stay tuned, because it's only going to get better and better and better. And then after you leave today, you're going to have these techniques that you're going to be able to work on that I'm really excited for you to let me know how it works out. Now, besides just you right there who's listening, there were some people who applied early to register, and I just want to say hello to them real quickly, who's on this screen. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, all you people who got backstage passes. Mary Beth, Vera, welcome. Yes, Yash, look at you. All you people, thank you for coming. I'm so happy that you're backstage here live while it's happening here, but I'm got to tell you a little about why I'm bringing this to you. Long time ago, I've been a gastroenterologist and an internist in Los Angeles for over 30 years, 2 practices, and doing very well. Started out at UCLA, internship and residency, fellowship in gastroenterology, learned endoscopic surgery, and you know, then I was doing so well with my practice, and things were just so busy, and I was helping people and taking tumors out with endoscopes, no cutting. I was so excited. And then one day I went in this, some of you know, I went in this one lady's room to discharge her, very nice Hispanic lady, a little bit heavy set. And I said, Mr. Audrey, it's time to go home. And I said, your surgery's fine, tumor's out, everything's great, no cut, and you can start eating, everything's great. And she says, doctor, I still have pain. And I said, what do you mean? She says, well, I've had all these concerns about what I've been going through up till now. You know, I have a family of 8 children, and I've been away from my work, and I've been sick for all these days going to those other doctors before I was finally sent to you, and then you were able to take care of this. And so, you know, I've just got all these concerns and worries, and, you know, I just don't feel like I got to go back to a whole lot now. I've really missed out on a lot of life just getting through this whole process. So I sat on her bed and I said, you know, Mr. Rodriguez, I took her hand and I said, it was a very good moment because it was almost like at UCLA, the sun came in the window, and I said, you know, I wish you never had to go through this at all. As a matter of fact, I wish people never got sick. I wish people could get healthier and healthier, but I've got every degree now. I already got internal medicine, gastroenterology, endoscopic, special techniques, and I'm teaching, doing research. She says, well, if anybody can find out about it, you can. So I looked at her finger and I looked at myself and I said, well, I've learned everything else. I'll just go on a search now. And so I did. And I actually went on my own search, which I self-funded took not just a week, not just a month, but like every 2 or 3 months, I left Los Angeles, had other doctors covering my practice, which back then was a no-no because everybody would say, oh, you leave your office, you leave your practice, they'll steal everything, or the patients will all leave you, and that didn't happen at all. What happened was, I came back, there was even more clients and patients, but I left every 2 or 3 months. I traveled all over the United States, all over Central America, all over South America, not all at one time. It was like every couple of months I would leave, but I was always researching, is there something else for Mrs. Rodriguez? Is there something else for all of us? So that you could be healthier and happier, so that every day in life, you know, most people in life, they figure they're going to go along in life, and you start as a kid and you start to go like this. And as time goes on, even if you read the books about the stages of life, I'm sorry, they don't talk about it going any way up. Lady told me, who I met in her 80s, she says, Doc, you got to do something, because this thing called the golden age isn't golden at all. It's a big lie. So I said, okay. She's a lady I started treating with the energy and some of the techniques you're going to learn, and she made it to 100, which I was real thrilled about. But anyway, so I kept searching. I still didn't find the energy, though. Really, there was no validation. There was no degrees. When I went to South America and studied with the shamans and had long hair and did all those herbs that you probably have tried, or psychedelics, all those different drugs, and all they do is drain your energy. And plus, besides the intestinal things, it's only an up, down, up, down, up, down. That's not going to make it so that long term you're stronger and stronger every day, which was my goal for you. My goal for you is that you get to have each day more vibrant, because I knew in my heart of hearts that as a kid, that's how it is, right? Every day you go, hey, Dad, am I a little bit taller today? I can throw the baseball a little bit better. I can catch, I can run. You want to have that experience of your prowess. And I knew it existed somewhere, but I couldn't find it. So finally, 160,000 miles around the globe multiple times, I'm paying for it. And the way I would get to go is I would teach in different areas. So I taught in South America, taught in Central America, taught in England, in France, in Germany, parts of Russia, Sweden, so many different places. It was wonderful. Italy. But the funny thing was that every place, the doctors there were so fascinated by what I was bringing from UCLA and the Western culture with endoscopic surgery. They would always say in these major hospitals, no, we don't have anything that's like that. There's nothing we have that allows you to get stronger and stronger every day. We're just taking care of people and trying to hold people back from declining. So finally, I ended up teaching in Asia, 160,000 miles later, almost 7 years later. And while I was teaching in Asia, I was in all over Asia, and finally in one hospital in China while I was working there, while I was teaching endoscopic surgery, I got a great chance to learn acupuncture, a little different than here. Even now, the needles were really long, and we did all kinds of surgeries, and not with the best antiseptic technique. It was just considered not necessary. And I saw open heart surgery, eye surgery, everything with really long needles. And I learned how to do a lot of that. Bringing it back to our hospital system was not really a big option. And then another thing I really learned over there was working in the pharmacies. It was fantastic. The pharmacies there in the traditional hospitals were not like our pharmacies at all. You know, we have a little box that has words on it. There's no words, no box. What we did was every morning around 5:30 in the morning, like at Harry Potter's, if you ever saw that, he would go up in his laboratory, up the stairs of the rolling ladder, and we would find these little boxes that you open up, and inside, you don't even know what's inside there. Children was getting better and better all the time, but, not really so great that I could understand that what I was going to pull out of there. And usually the nurses or the pharmacists who were telling me what to do were not that nice, because they were always rushing on over there, da, 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 which means that. So then I would just like, what is this? A bat wing? What is this? Spider? Cobweb? What is this? Swallow saliva dried on a leaf? And then they would boil it and then decant it, and then we'd serve it to people. And believe it or not, people had great benefits from it. But again, that wasn't something that was stopping this big decline that people go through in life. And right now during COVID and during this times of stress where people have a lot of cabin fever, they have even more feeling like they're closed in. And why don't you know, after today, you're going to feel like you're exploding out, because wait till you hear what I discovered. So that I couldn't bring back either, especially because of the smoke, with the smoke detectors in all our hospitals, and also the taste. It wasn't really something that people could really enjoy or get great benefit to do the goal I wanted for you and Mrs. Rodriguez. And so finally one day in a library, as I was walking by, I saw this book where this man who was dressed in the traditional old Chinese costume with a long beard, and he was treating this person from a distance, and they were showing how he was healing his wounds. And I took it immediately to the head of the hospital, says, hey, I want to meet this guy. And they go, impossible. Don't even think about it. That's our national treasure. He's guarded all the time. He only treats the top people. He's a descendant from the people who were trained since Lao Tzu to be able to give this information to the emperors and to the major leaders of China throughout history, so that we could have a tremendous society of cohesive working people together, and also heal people without having to go through all the chopping up, and also allow people to live a long time, since he's living way into his hundreds. So I said, no, I want to do it. So you'll love the rest of this content as I finally made it to get to see him. It took a lot. I had to do everything I could to finally let them say, okay, we'll take you partway there, but you're going to have to make it on your own, because there's really no Americans who are up at that monastery. This is back in the day, just post Mao Zedong. So this is when everybody's still wearing these little outfits. Remember, it's not modern Versace or Armani like today in China. So it's completely different. It was back in the day of, post-war experiences. So when I got to the monastery, finally, climbing this long mountain myself, after somebody let me off on a broken motorcycle, the thing was, they were so not friendly. They treated me like, well, sort of like a stray dog. I really wasn't accepted at all, because I was this big, tall American with a baseball hat. And they were just looking at me like I was this unusual person, and they didn't know why I was visiting. Matter of fact, I had a name while I was there called Gui Lao, which isn't very complimentary. It means you're sort of a ghost, or someone that you really don't want to be around too much. And they didn't even know me, but it took a while. And I persisted, even though there wasn't good sleeping conditions or eating conditions, but I got to see things, and I got to see him do that thing. I got him to see him treat people, the Grand Master, who's the direct descendant from the lineage of being able to treat people with this energy technique, which actually, over time, after I stayed there over and over, kept returning over the years, he let me learn from him. And since my basic desire was to see if this existed, and when I could prove that it really did, after seeing so many cases and interviewing so many people, one day he said, would you like to learn? I said, it'd be my greatest joy. He said, there's only two problems. And I said, oh, okay, whatever. He said, well, you need to know. And so this is through the translator. He says, the first one is nobody ever makes it. And I said, nobody ever makes it? What does that mean? He says, well, as you can see around me, there's no people who've made it to the level that I'm at, because the only way you can make it is that the way this discipline's set up, it's something that comes from within you. Like when you're a kid and all of a sudden you say, I can take that branch, and you jump. You don't know where that comes from. It comes from within you. So that within you space is going to keep growing while you're here, but everybody has a limit. So you'll stop somewhere along the line, and that has to be okay with you. You may not become a fancy, endoscopic energy person at the end. You may be a person who just, can do certain basic things. And I said, that's okay. I'd like to do that. He said, that's not the only thing. You may not make it. He said, a lot of people die in this process. I said, die? Why? He said, because The challenges are not ones that are like written up like what you have in America, where you have a test that you take. It's actually, you're going to have challenges where we're not going to give you the answer. We're just going to give you the challenge, and you're going to have to figure it out using the techniques we're giving you. Now, the good news about that is all those techniques I got to learn. And as I made it through each stage, I actually was able to bring in those vibrations to open up what you're going to find out, all these sensors in your body, so that I was able to actually make it up the mountain, to do so many different tests, which were very, very dangerous. And many times I was left hanging on a mountain late in the afternoon and not knowing where the camp was, how to get back in a foreign place in China, and then having to climb my way up there. And if I didn't make it, it wasn't their problem, they said. They said, we really don't have, that concern here in China. You're on your own, just like the way you come into the world. You're on your own. And you need to know that you can find within yourself, if you let your sensors open up using these techniques, everything you need to be able to charge ahead. And so that's what I decided to do. So what happened next was that the moment that I had a test where I was going to be put out in the snow, and I had to sit in the snow, and I had to melt the snow all around me, it was like cold. It was freezing. It was one of these tests. And I had to sit out there and somehow bring in the energy to be able to somehow create enough heat field to be able to go around it. But as I went up each level, what happened was I was able to finally be able to bring in all the different vibrations that would allow me to accomplish each one of those challenges till finally, yes, I got to be one of the 9 people who are able to be trained to do this exact technique that I'm going to be imparting to you today. So let's talk about that technique. Let's talk about the techniques that I was able to bring back, and we've developed all these programs for you. And I would really like you to know that we also brought people on today who are going to be able to share with you. I think there's a note that we're going to take a break for just 1 second. So when's the break? Right now. Okay. What happened?
We are in for such a treat. I get to show you a practice that we get to do during this break, and Dr. Morgulin will be right back. So this is a golden opportunity. And this is one of my favorite practices. You can do this sitting down or standing up. So you just have your arms out straight. So you have your arms out straight and right out. And then as you bring them back, you flip your hands up. And you just bring them back 30 times. So you just do 3, 4, 5, bring them back, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. And as part of this practice, you bring your arms down and then you bring them up and you do it 30 more times. And anytime I do a practice, Dr. Morgulin always says, do it slower. So you want to allow the energy in to fortify you, and you just beautifully bring it back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and just bring it back as far as you can, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And anytime you're doing an energy practice, just do it slowly, enjoy it, feel it, just do it as far as you can. Nothing hurts. And this is a perfect example of a simple practice that he teaches us. And every time you do this, you get even more energy. It's like you're going to the energy gas station and you're filling up your tank, and you have even more energy to direct any way you want. And some of these are really quick, and some of them are you do 30 things twice or a couple times a day. He'll give you the instruction and the example. Every month we get those in whatever course you're in. It's really powerful. So thanks for doing that with me. I really appreciate that very much. And then Dr. B will be back. Hey, break time was a gift for us. We got to have another practice energized. So thank you, Dr. B. Thank you very much. And just know throughout this entire time, anytime, Dr. Morgulin knows that we're right here. So he will give you energy as you watch this, whether he's right here directing us or not. It's all energy rich and energy filled. So allow yourself just to take in this energy, whether you can feel it or not. It's totally up to you. Whatever you like. Just think about how this energy just fills you. I love how he's always telling me, slower. Because anytime, if you just try to get through them, that's not what this is. This is ease and joy as you reach your goals or as you do these different physical practices. And he's about to join us. I just got word. So here we have again, Dr. Barry Morgulin.
Are you ready?
Yes, Dr. B.
You can hear me, I hope?
Yes, we can hear you. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Great. So they're getting it all, and we'll see if it's synced now.
Oh, there you go.
All right, how about now? Good?
Perfect.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you for your input. See? Team. This is what I want. A village of everybody working together so we all support each other so we get these great results. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And so I want to say hello to a few people who called in and said, hey, you need to fix this and this. Hello, Tricia, Tom. Let's see who else is there. Jan, Julian, Dave. Look at all you wonderful people. Lynn, Vivian. So where we were was, you know, I was able to actually learn this, become one of the 9 greats throughout history for this great process that's come down through history, days since the yin-yang symbol with Lao Tzu, and even before him with Wan Di and all the grand masters, over 70 of them that trained Wan Di, and all the people that developed this great, you know, process for you, which really has 3 pillars. One pillar is the, as you really, I know, love to hear about, which is the healing part with the energy. The other pillar is the Qigong and the Tai Chi and the Kung Fu, the type of karate type of self-defense, so that you're really strong at all times. And then the third one, which is I think so essential and what I've used in business in so many places over the world over these past years, is that for people like you, no matter where you are, whether you're confined because of whatever it is, whether you're home because you're home anyway, or home because of the ridiculous situations that go up and down, that ridiculous mean they're interruptive and not expected, that you can sustain through those and start your own business from home or start your business successfully. And we're going to tell you about people who did that later on. We're going to have 3 guests. They're going to, let me give you an overview, who actually, during this period of COVID, around the world, and we have guests from around the globe, so stay tuned. You're going to be surprised, who use the energy techniques during these past months since our last breakthrough event that we gave for you, that have been able to use the techniques just like you're going to be able to do, and have been able to crush it successfully in 3 of these great areas. So besides doing that, we're also going to go through and show you techniques on how you can make great goals and be able to accomplish things faster and faster, how you can physically make yourself stronger each day, and also how you can stay in the flow zone state, stay in the sweet spot all the time, so that where you go up to life is just like when you hit the perfect tennis ball. It's almost like no sound. It's whoop. It's same thing with a golf ball. In life, when you're in that flow state, it's wonderful, and you can access this with these techniques. We're going to show you how. So let me tell you about the first person who shared. We had a lot of people share since the last time we were on, of what victories they were able to accomplish using these techniques that I've got all set up for you in the videos and audios in this course. So the first person is someone who, dear to my heart, his name is Yash. And I actually wrote down some of his victories because there were so many, but let me just bring it up here. But you will be surprised at the things that happened with this gentleman. It's just amazing. So what happened was that he came to us about 3 years ago, and he had done a lot of physical activity, and he had a business, he had a family. And now during COVID, being back at home, he really wanted to get back in better shape again, and it wasn't happening. Plus he was having physical challenges. So I said, so, all right. So he called me and asked me what to do. And I said, well, do these practices that you just saw in the Dragon program that you watched previously. And I said, great. If you'll do that, I'll follow along with you. Like I told all y'all, just, text me back, because we have facilitators for you to watch you as you're going through the next period of this whole program. And so what he did was he actually did these steps, but it didn't turn out like right away. What happened was he had weights that he needed, and he couldn't really afford the weights. And he also had physical things in his body where he had injuries, and he didn't know how he was going to get the injuries handled. He still wanted to get in shape because he wasn't 18 anymore, but he was a family holder, but he still wanted to be really, really strong and vital, because that's part of the 3 pillars of this wonderful Energy for Success program. So let me just see what else he did. Oh, he actually got a trainer who understood how to use physical therapy at the same time, and visit him and bring equipment over to him. And he found time to do it, and he found a way to do it financially so it would work and fit it into his schedule. But I think we were able to even find him. Isn't he here today? Is he on the screen? Yash, is that you?
I'm here, Dr. B. Hello, hello.
That's the real guy. Okay, so on my list here of what I wrote down of all the things that I did before I got on, it was a list this long. You can tell us some of the things. So Yash, before you started with the Energy for Success, and I'm looking down because his screen is over here, was it all, just easy flow? Everything was just going smooth, or what? What happened?
No, Dr. B. It wasn't all smooth, easy as water. It was, I live in Boston. I have 2 kids and proud dad. But, to your point on health and vitality, which was my opportunity, I practiced karate for 6.5 years, and I've worked out with a trainer. But over the last 1.5 years, I had a lot of nagging injuries. And after every workout, I was in pain, and I couldn't figure out what to do about it. And I dreaded the next workout. So my opportunity was really health and vitality, and using the Dragon program practices from the Energy for Success program to focus on resolving those, getting clarity, and taking action, and then breaking through to the next level. And thank you so much for everything you do, Doctor.
Yeah, one of the neatest things that he brought up is that, everybody would like to get started in doing something physical. And doggone it, as a physician, I can tell you, I've seen it for years and years and years. Everybody has an injury, and they don't know how to get through it. And what's so great about having your body start healing itself while you're doing your practices in preparing before you do your other, whether it's the karate or the kung fu or the working out with weights or the aerobics, it allows you to heal each time. So the next day, you're able to show up for the trainer and be able to push more, do more. Did you find it that way, Yash?
I totally found it that way, Dr. B. I found that the more I did the practices and the more I made them a part of my daily regimen, so I'd wake up before I even got out of bed in the morning at 5:30 or 6. I'd start with my physical exercises and breathing visualizations. And I reached for those calls that you recorded that were just hugely, a huge uplift. And the more I did that in the morning, and it went from 10 minutes to 90 minutes, it just changed my level of perceptivity and being in the zone and, just focusing on breaking through and all the actions around health, finding a Zoom training session, finding Zoom karate with my academy. And I
wait, one more thing. You look sort of svelte. I mean, is it true what I heard? I mean, I wrote this down that you've tried diets before, and we have other people who've, I guess what he's talking about is that you get a specific facilitator in the program that he successfully was in, the Dragon program. And the facilitators are trained they haven't just been trained for a week or a month or just given a binder like many other programs said, here, go learn this. No, they've been with me for not 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, some 10 years and more, being trained just like I was in China, just like you'll be in every single thing that you do, because we're very serious about wanting you to be happy, healthy, successful, and also grow in your prowess. So growing in your prowess means finding a way to lose weight for Yash, right? You were a little chunky before, right? And because diets weren't working for you, even though you tried a number one. So just like this one lady I told him about that lost 165 pounds and said the only reason that she lost it now was that finally with the techniques combined with the diet she found that worked for her, everybody has one just for you, that she was able to lose it. So how did you do it?
I did, to your point, Dr. B, I did a lot of different things and a lot of them didn't work. And then I finally settled in on, the more I did the practices and working with a trainer, working with my karate regimen, but the Energy for Success practices really were the bedrock and the foundation. So I lost body fat. I put on lean muscle mass in the 6 months, especially during COVID. My structure and consistency and discipline shot up through the roof, which was lacking for 48 years and change, I guess you could say.
You're 48 years? No way. You're not 48.
So, and it was just the biggest part, I think, Dr. B, also is this, it's the how. It wasn't just with grit and everything's a nail and I'm a hammer. It was with flow and ease. And there was a lot of learning and there were also some mistakes along the way. But each time I kept just reaching because the Energy for Success program practices gave me the platform to keep on reaching for the next.
Well, was it really difficult now? Was trying to lose the weight and getting in shape, was it tough now like it had been, you told me previously?
No, it was a lot of flow, Dr. B. And it was also surprising where at the end of a workout, with my trainer, for example, when we were doing a hardcore 4 supersets, and at the end, like my last set just went up and up and up. And sometimes it was 150%, sometimes it was 125%, sometimes it was 300%. And so as the rep count went up and the weight went up, he was like, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing whatever you're doing. It works, So
did you really get a brown belt in karate?
I did, Dr.
And Okinawan, Shorin, Ryu karate. That's the note I made. Really? So you made during this time of COVID, see, you're sitting at home. I'm sitting at home. You're worried about this, that, and here. Don't get worried. Do your practices and get a brown belt, right? And lose the weight. Good job.
Thank you, Dr. B. And thank you.
I'm
the
proud
facilitators
of you.
are really special. So thank you. Thank you so
much. Yeah, you've been actually, this is the note he told me. He says he's actually now during this period of time where COVID has sort of pulled people down. Remember I said life has this tendency, most people think it's going this way, but what I'm going to show you today with every one of these practices, life has another side, like the yin yang symbol. There's this one white side with a small black dot of a little, maybe a little pepper in your soup. That's enough. But the rest of it, you can keep growing and growing. Then there's the other side, the dark side, where maybe it's one stressful misinformation, not having resources, people not giving you the right indicators. Because he'd been on diets and physical practice before. He just used this opportunity to reach out right now and say, hey, do you have something? And we said, we do, the Dragon program. And you applied it, and it wasn't even that difficult, just sometime each day, huh?
It's awesome, Dr. B. And I think the Dragon program is a total game changer on many levels. So thank you so much for doing it.
So you're leaner, stronger, younger. Good job. And how are you getting all your family? Is that now that you became a robust athlete, are you a mean guy at home or are you a sweet fellow?
I'm a better dad in terms of my kids being closer and more trusting, and they feel safe sharing their trials and tribulations, whether it's being accepted in a new school system that both my daughters are going to now, and making the switch ahead of time during the period of COVID, or it's being a better husband or being a high value contributor at work. So I'm really enjoying a lot of the relationships are exponentially better, Dr. B. And across the board, no, I'm not a mean, hard-charging athlete with my family and with my friends. Thank you.
So you're not cold clocking somebody in the elevator when they give you a little lip. You're there. You're okay.
No, I actually listen to them, which is a big change for me because I actually listen and I try.
Yeah, he's a tough executive. You wouldn't know it. He looks like this teddy bear. I mean, I'm surprised. I haven't seen him in so long, but it's great to see. And you're in Boston right now?
I'm in Boston right now, and it's lovely fall weather around us, Dr. B. Yes.
Nice, Berkshires. All right, well, listen, one of the things that I went through with Yash, and I'm so proud of you. So thank you for being, a success. And it's only, remember, the goal from now on is just to keep going up and up. All the programs is just the mountain's going to keep taking you up to a higher and higher state of even higher and stronger health and success with your family and your financial, which he didn't bring in, but he's also done very well in his business, and he's a good dad. So what is one of the things that is in these three pillars? Well, there's techniques that have to do with, there's techniques which I'd like to show you now. And so everybody get out your pen and paper. And I think Maggie told you about that. And just make sure, so everybody nod that the verbal and the lips are all moving together correct. You can hear me now and it's all good. Yeah, y'all are so pretty. I can't believe how gorgeous y'all. Did y'all dress up for this? Look at you. Look at those faces. Oh, curly hair in San Diego. Look at you. And out here in Malibu, and then over here in Boston, and then over here in BH, and then, Texas. I love it. I love seeing you have no idea what it does for me to see your joyful faces, knowing that the energy flow inside of you is something just waiting to get stronger and stronger, because you're going to find out after today that your life is going to keep going this way, getting stronger and stronger, more prowess every moment. So one of the practices that Yash and I worked on was that you have to learn energy journaling. Now, it isn't the kind of journaling that you've learned before, which is all fine. But let me just tell you how I learned to journal, which I want you to learn. I first learned, and I didn't have a fancy journal. As a matter of fact, I had those cheap spiral notebooks, the brown ones you get in school that have like a little metal thing on the edge of it. And I just had a ton of those, and I had them everywhere. I had it in front of my car, had it in my gym bag, had it in my locker room outside surgery. I had it in the restroom. I had it right outside the shower. It's because the Grandmaster taught me that with energy journaling, you need to catch every victory. You need to catch every victory you have. And I said, well, wait a minute, I haven't made it to the level of after the first couple of years, I hadn't made it to this level. And I thought, what's he talking about? In the United States, when I made it on the basketball team, you finally, at the end of the year, you get your letter and your jacket and you're so proud, but that's after a whole year of struggle. And he said, no, absolutely not. He said, you catch every single victory you have that you want to repeat. Write that down. Catch every victory you have that you want to repeat. Catch every victory you have that you want to repeat. And he says, don't write down the ones that you don't want to repeat. So if you have a big success when you ask somebody out for a date and they go, oh yeah, I'd love to go with you, don't write that down. You don't need that because I'm making a bad joke. The point is, you do want to write that down. She or he said yes. The point is that something inside of you, he trained me, is so able to recreate yourself and open. You don't see them yet, but you will. You have these sensors all throughout your body, and you actually have tremendous ability to clean them off and shine them up and open them up so that they open up just like a lotus blossom, which was part of what Buddha was trying to explain a long time ago in one of his scenes, which is that every place you walk, you want to open up your sensors. It wasn't you needed to open up a lot of lotus blossoms. You want to open up the sensors in your body so that you can perceive more and more of what this wonderful universe is trying to give you. See, what if part of the yin yang symbol is all about you being given a gift every moment of, yeah, it's okay with physics. This is all based on quantum physics. It all got started way back with Lao Tzu and before. Einstein even writes about that in his writings. This is all about you're important. You're essential. So if you're essential in your life, then if you write it down that I like that this happened and I want it, I want this to continue, it doesn't take much. I put the ball in the basket 9 times in a row. Great, write it down. Most people would say, well, there's this thing that I call the matrix, which is sort of our cultural milieu that goes, oh, well, there's so many things to worry about. And, I've got an aunt who's sick and somebody I know went to the hospital and, oh, I stubbed my toe this morning. And I'm just going to worry about those things. I'm not going to think about the fact that, I'd put the ball in the basket 9 times before I left for work. No, don't do that. You want to catch every one. So this practice that I want you to learn is how to catch each and every win and create a pathway from your arm. So you want to write it if you can. If you don't have time to write it, you can type it. If you don't have time to type it, you can dictate it. But I'm telling you, it's faster as far as turning on all your sensors all the way to your brain and then back down again throughout your whole body. Catch each and every win, creating a pathway for you to win again and again and again and again. The Grandmaster, this is what he did with his ears. He says, again, how often do you want to win? And remember, my name was not DrB back then. It was Guilao, which was not a very high level. I was still the low American because they didn't have a respect for anybody except people that had been through this type of training program where we knew the difference between misinformation of the matrix and reality of the joy of what's waiting for you, and you get to choose. He was always saying, you all have a culture where you think, and he wasn't just talking about America, he's talking about the West, he's talking about the East, he's talking about everywhere. People think they know every minute, and thinking doesn't give you a chance to wake up, like when you're in your surfboard or if you're skiing and you really don't know what the next wave is, but you're ready for it. This process of catching each one of your wins makes you more and more ready. So your sensors are more and more open so that when you walk through your day, you're actually going, I did that with the basket and put the ball in the basket. And yes, when I got to the office, I wadded up a couple papers and threw them over there to see if I was still shooting them in. But the point is, I made a record of that too. That's why I had to have a journal everywhere. And so what happens is after a while, you're in the middle of a meeting with people and you're talking and somebody says, well, what are we going to do about this research project? And they said, I don't know. We're just going to throw that one away. I say, here, give me that paper. They throw it in and they throw a shot from the corner. They go, how'd you do that? And I go, oh, it's one of the things I've been practicing on. But the point is, there's nothing you can't practice that you can't make part of your repertoire that you could increase on if you catch it. So journaling to catch it, scribble it down, start now, get a journal. I don't care if it's just a spiral notebook like I had, but remember, record everything you want to repeat. So say you have a call with your mom. I just had a call from somebody while I was driving over here. And this one lady said, I talked to my mom today, and it's the very first time. Now, this lady's not 12 years old, and she's not 24, and she's not 36. A little bit older than that, and she has kids. But she says, I talked to my mom today. It's the first time I ever had a full conversation where there was no matrix, no Debbie Downer, and no negativity, no upsetting things in there, no sadness in terms of all the things she was pointing out. It wasn't that we didn't talk about some of the things that are going on with COVID, but we were able to find a way using the energy that we could make that an opportunity, just like Yash did with making this confinement an opportunity for him to get his health together, his weight together, his family together, his strength together, and his body fat together. So write this down. Even if you have a victory, even a small one, you want to write it down and write them down. And please report to me after this, text back in how it starts. It can start right now. If you have a victory during this session, write it down. If your dog is quiet, if your kids leave you alone, if your tea stays warm, you can write that. And then all of a sudden you'll start learning, well, why would that be important? Well, with the Grandmaster, one of the things we learned how to do was to affect all substances, liquids, to change them to being the more and more foods, to be more and more the way that they would be more edible, more safe. Because in China, a lot of things weren't as clean as you would like. So you had to be really able to keep yourself able to tolerate even poisons, which was part of my tests that I had to go through. So, but there's 2 other great, big, huge areas of success I want you to hear about. So let me tell you about the next person. Hold on. Let's see here. Let me bring up who's the next person that's coming up. And it's, you're in for a treat. Now, the first person is joy to my heart, but there's a treat here. There's a lady who originally, we're going to bring her on the screen, I hope. Her name is Yasmin, and she originally is from not the West. She's from Africa, actually, I think, part of Africa, Northern Africa. And she's just an adorable person. And when I first met Yasmin, I went, you're amazing. And she told me her whole story about how that she was on a course just like you're attending right now on Facebook Live. And she watched it from either in Canada or Africa or wherever she was. And Yasmin, hi, you're here. Yay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I told you, yeah, so it's over. See how pretty she is? It's all over. So I have nothing to say. But the point is, no. So when I met her and after she did the course, or she was watching the live course, like what we're presenting to you today, and then she registered for this dragon course afterwards about winning in no matter what you're going to do in life, no matter what it is, it's the Challenge Dragon program. And she had interests. I'll just tell a little bit of your story, okay? She's right down here on my screen, but I want you to know that she's somebody I adore, right? So we could just stop right here and we could just connect Yasmin and I. She's unbelievable. So she told me, she says, well, you know, I'm here and I'm sort of starting over again, working in a new city. She'll tell you about that. And she left her very tight, wonderful family, you know how that is, and started off on her own in a corporate kind of environment. And I think it was in somewhere in North America, probably Canada, I think. But she said, I want to do the energy program. But I really would like to have, well, a relationship. You know, this thing, love. But not just relationship, because she'd heard me talk about that I average 4 soulmate marriages a year. And people go, really? 4 every year? Every year. You'll see, I report them on the website. We talk about all, and they come, but I don't report them. They come on and tell their stories about how they met Mr. Wonderful or Miss Wonderful or Mrs. Wood, whoever they met that they wanted to fall in love with that was really the right person for them. And these aren't stories that just happened, well, one day. It's like it went on and on and on, and it keeps going on, and they keep reporting, okay? So with Yasmin, she wanted to know about having a relationship and finding the right significant other, the right partner. And so she started doing the exercises. I'll just tell a little foreshadow, yes, about what she learned. And she wanted to actually connect. I have to tell this little part here, and then you can revive it, because this is the part that hits my heart so much. So there was a lot of difficulties in finally, you know, when she finally met the right guy, and then it started to be great, but then they really got connected and they wanted to meet his family. But his family lives all the way over in France. So he wanted her to meet his family during COVID. And it wasn't something that's really possible during that time, because there's all these barriers with quarantine. And also, do you really want to meet somebody's family? I mean, you're in love with them, but how are you going to do that? And so she kept doing the practices. And I'm going to tell you one of the practices afterwards that I showed her that really enriched and enabled her to open our senses so that she could relate not only to him and his family, but also to everybody she had to connect with to be able to make the arrangements to fly all the way over to France from, I think, Canada, and then be able to make it work with the family, and then well, you tell the story. What happened? What was it like before? What was it like before you did the energy practices, right? What was it like, huh?
Well, before then, we had challenges to go, like with meeting them and the travel and everything. And it was around the time where we had the last call in March, actually, where the flights got canceled and everything. And I just took to the practices. I just stayed calm, which is one of the ones that you taught us to do. I took my journal and I wrote goals about how I wanted the timing to be perfect and how I wanted the journey to be, and around all the anxiety, you know, of meeting the parents for the first time, and just everything and the connection. And yes, it happened. I got exactly what I wanted, and even better, because we were able to make it to France. And even with that, we were social distancing because we didn't want to have, you know, to contaminate them if we picked up anything on the way, and all of that. And there was one moment where, the only moment where I had physical contact with my partner's mother was at dinner, where she held my hand and she just said, "Welcome to the family." Yeah, that was the only physical contact. And it was like shock, but it was amazing, like, because I had done all the practices and put in all the work, and it was just beautiful, and I was able to achieve my goal better than I could ever imagine. So
You know, let me ask you a question. The most interesting thing to me about this story is that, one, they planned to go over there after they fell in love, and then there's no way to get over there because there's no planes going over there. It's all blocked, can't get into France, quarantine. Then she says, what am I going to do? I'm screwed. I go, no, this is just like me being caught on the mountain in China. You got to use the energy techniques. Your senses open up and we will find a way. We always will, because there is another path in life that takes you keep going up. And that upward pathway is beckoning you right now, this moment. And in the Dragon program, it's all about those techniques. And so she was using the techniques of the guided breathing visualizations, the writing the goals, catching her wins. And so finally, believe it or not, what? They opened it up. They opened France up just for a very short period of time where you could go there without quarantine and you could visit and be there. And then after she left, they closed it down again. So, you know, there is a way. There's a side of there's two universes going on. I'm telling you, there's the world that you get to sort of have a tremendous ability to connect to, be part of, and that it's all part of the quantum that you get to relate to, and that it serves you as you serve it. It has to be win-win. But as you serve it, it serves you. You get to have results that really are wonderful, both for your health and your happiness, and of course for love, as you can see in her face. So the part I also like is that when she went over there, she talks about it now, but when she was there, she was like, this, I'm gonna meet the family. Are you sure? Come on. I mean, I'm seeing her today, and I mean, I want to just, put her on a runway. She looks so gorgeous. But the point is, she was not like this. It was frantic. I don't want to do this. This is not going to go good. It's him and their family, and they're French, and who knows if they'll understand me and what is going to go on. I said, it's not important. You're going to talk from here. You're going to talk from here. You're going to connect from here. This is how you connect to people in business. This is how you connect to people in romance. This is how you connect to your employees. This is how you connect to your mom, your dad, your children. It's not like this thin part of your brain you call the cortex, which is like really just, it's so thin. It's not your whole self. Bring your whole self in by opening up all your sensors with these practices like she did. And she's at the table being wonderful, and everybody there is like social distancing. And then the mom, as she told me, reached out with her own hand, this elderly woman, and puts her hand on Yasmin's hand and says, welcome into our family. How are you going to turn that down? I mean, that's romance plus. That's better than any novel for me. And it's real life. And that's the way your life's supposed to be. Your life's supposed to be better than TV. It's supposed to be better than a novel. And if it isn't, you start doing these practices today and text me your results. You're going to see Yasmin's going to have the input for you too. And she got to also work with the facilitators, and the facilitators that we have, just like Yash did, was that the facilitators are people that we've trained to actually connect with you and keep giving you practice so that wherever you get, held up, and you are going to be thrown things from the matrix. And really my definition of the matrix is like, has anybody here, I don't know, Marius, have you ever been on the freeway and you notice you get on the freeway and nice smile there. So, and Julian, have you ever seen that you're on the freeway and they leave these orange cones up there on a turnoff, an exit, but there's no people there? They just left them and they block the turnoff. You can't get off, but there's no construction workers there or anything. And you're going, God, is anybody managing this world at all? You know what I'm saying? So the resistances you run into that make no sense is pretty much what I call this whole misinformation milieu, that you can ferret out, just like when you're skiing, you ferret out, okay, well, here's a mogul, I'm going to ski around this. Or if you're water skiing, here's a wave I want to go over. Or if this is a problem and I want to look at the multiple answers to it, you have that capacity inside of you. You have it. And it isn't something that burns out. So many people say, oh, well, you're only going to be able to make your best decisions in the morning or in the afternoon or at a certain time of day. And there's such a thing as decision and mental fatigue. Yes, if you live in the matrix with the guy with the orange cones, you're going to be worn out. But if you live in the world where you constantly are getting, they open up France for Yasmin so she can go there, right? So she can find her guy in the family. That's what you want. They want Marius to be able to get what he wants in business, in personal life. Look at that smile. Amazing. You guys are great. So I would like to show you now, unless there's something else I want to say on Yasmin, with else besides travelers and family. Now you're all back in Canada and you're working, and you've been using the energy techniques for your job too, right? So that you were able to keep your job. You didn't lose your job just going to France and back. You actually started your own.
My business in skincare. Remember, I started it with the
Oh yeah,
energy
this
as
is the
well.
other thing.
Perfect.
Oh, just by the way, BTW, my favorite symbol on I'm texting, is that in using the Energy for Success special, this is an add-on, which I didn't know we were going to say, but this is great you brought it up. Using the Energy for Success special guided breathing visualizations every day to create this calm, centered, looking forward to approach to everything that's coming up in your life. If you could have that be your place you stand on, where you're working from every day, like Yasmin got this equanimity, then these visualizations allow you to, even at the same time that she's going over there and coming back, create her own business. And I don't think you're working at that other corporate, you're just doing the skincare thing now, right?
Yes, I am now, thanks to Source Energy and Energy for Success.
Yeah, and we're all so excited because the product is coming out. And I don't know if you can hear the alarms in the background, but they're all celebrating the fact that you have got this product that everybody's going to go wild for. I've seen it. And it hasn't come out yet, but this is a promo. We'll do that on the next show, but I can't wait till we see it. But she's on her own now. She's got her own business and her own romantic life. I mean, it's starting to work. I'm telling you, your life has all these opportunities. So let's do one of the guided breathing visualizations that I did with Yasmin that you all can then do afterwards. You can re-listen to this. And what's so wonderful about the guided breathing visualizations is that we have many, many, many of them for each particular type of sensor in your body that you want to succeed in, whether it's the pillar of I want to be really strong, get a brown belt or black belt in, or a yellow belt or a green belt, or even have a belt. I don't even have a belt yet, like Yash. I think I made it up into karate, a certain level, and then Kempo, and then Qigong, and then Shaolin. And Shaolin, I was really doing great. And then finally, with the Grand Master, I had to learn this beyond. It was called beyond. It was called beyond. You had to be able to fight people, four people in a ring from different directions. You had to learn how to action. You had to learn how to defend yourself and keep being able to punch them and not just. My mother wanted me to take my hands so I can do surgery when I get back to the hospital. And here I have to be able to defend myself and still open up your senses so you can detect behind you and in front of you and on all sides of you. So what I want you to do is to allow that part of you to open up now for a moment. Close your eyes, and we're going to do a guided breathing visualization, which afterwards you're going to have this sense of, well, some equanimity, some looking forward to it. Katerina, I want you to make sure that you're listening. Mary Beth, Max, Chara, Anna Gomez, Maria. Look at all you people there. Joanne, all of you out there, I can see your names, everybody who popped in. I love that you're here, but now close your eyes. Everybody who's on, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you that are on the session. There'll be more people listening at different time zones, but right now you can use this guided breathing visualization even during high stress situations. So you don't have to get sucked into high stress. So whatever you feel like right now, let it go. Just close your eyes. This only takes a few minutes, so you don't have to worry. Just make sure the door is closed and nobody's going to bother you. No dog's going to run in. And your phone, please put the phone, on do not disturb. I'll give you a second to do that. Turn off your ringer. Put your phone on do not disturb. Those people that are driving should pull over it's not going to take that long, and you'll have a great time doing it. All right. Now, as you close your eyes, one of the things you want to notice is that it's so easy for you to just take a deep breath for a minute. It's so easy for you to just take a deep breath. It's so easy. Just relax. Now, how deep a breath can you take? Yeah, you can take a breath even deeper. It's really possible that you can breathe all the way into your back and into your upper shoulders. Go ahead, take another one. So, can you notice that your neck could probably relax a little bit and it could go back a little bit farther? Just let your neck go back just a little bit, just a little bit. And see if you could take a breath and let your neck float back with you. Good. Now let it rise a little bit towards the center. Yeah, a little bit more. And then as you're breathing, just allow your arms just to, okay, just let them fall. If you're lying down, it's fine. If you're sitting, it's good. Just give yourself something where you can lean back against so that you can just take it easy and just, let your eyes just sort of gaze gently along your eyelids, your eyes closed, and just, you're taking a break. You deserve this break. It's meant for you to take this break. This is going to be something that only is going to keep opening up as you allow yourself to, like, well, just breathe a little deeper. And you start to notice that, well, in the upper right-hand corner of your field there, and in the upper left-hand corner of the field, and then somewhere in the center, there's sort of a, well, it's not completely smooth. It's a little bit pebbly. It's a little bit black and grayish, and there's like a white dot here, and then it disappears, and another white dot. You sort of look out in this panorama. But it's just a nice, wonderful, like a sky to relax into, like you're being drawn into this wonderful, wonderful experience of the whole space that you get to enjoy in life. And as you sort of allow yourself to float into this space, as you get to float further and further into this space, you notice that, well, one of those little gold, silver, platinum dots, like a lightning bug lights on and goes off, and then another one, and then it starts to, you see a bunch of them start to roll towards the center, and then there seems to be like a coalescence of those dots in the center. It forms sort of like a dot that you can sort of, point your mental finger towards and just sort of reach towards that as it sort of comes and allows to float right through you. And it floats right through your forehead and down through your chest and down through your waist, and let your back just completely relax with that as it floats through your hips and thighs and down into your feet, so that as it floats back up, those little silver, gold, platinum excrescence, like a dot that's always rotating, not really smooth dot. It's sort of whatever you perceive. And sometimes you may not even perceive, maybe on, maybe off, just like the universe. It's always on, off, on, off, on, off. So you may see it rotating to the left, rotating to the right, maybe on its axis, but whatever the dot or dots are doing this, they float up through you, back up through your neck and chest. And here's a good time to take a much deeper breath. Remember that breath before? This one's a lot more fun. Go ahead. And some of you who are experts in breathing know that you can really access all those points that are so wonderful in your whole sides of your chest, front of your chest, center of your back, lower back. And that gold silver dot sort of rolls around in all those areas. And then as you allow it to sort of re-enter that space over your forehead, as you keep your eyes closed, you see that it can bring you up to this wonderful distance that sort of floats up through the sky. And you start to enter this atmosphere where it becomes really sort of rarefied, clear, really bluish. And you start getting blue, and you see these white clouds, and these white clouds sort of just, so refreshing. They sort of suds you off like that's like a spray that just evaporates over you and energy, it just sort of energizes the surface of your skin a little bit, so you feel cooled off and ready to sort of keep rising up through these clouds as you finally get to, wow, this wonderful, clear, blue, 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 blue environment sky that goes in all directions. You can like see through the blue, and yet it's constantly blue. You can look all the way you want to the far as you want, to the north, to the south, up, back. It's amazing. What a space. But what's so exciting is that in this particular, vibrational route, there's a wonderful green mountain. I mean, it's just full of grass, and just sort of the kind that's all been, kept down by the environment, so that it's sort of short, but there's well-worn path on the mountain. And it looks like there's a bunch of people who are going to be taking a hike, and I think it would be good if all of us just joined them. I mean, it's an opportunity in this really rarefied, super clean environment. The air is so fresh that, you know, and it's a warm day and everybody like you are dressed appropriately and you have your own rucksack they give you. And so we start out, I'll go with you as we climb up this winding path, this dirt path going up this grassy mountain. It's really quite nice. And we walk from, you know, quite a while. It's really good exercise and you start to feel yourself being much stronger than you thought you were going to be. I mean, you just weren't planning to take this hike, but it seems like you've got more, you know, more ability to exert yourself as you're going from one path and then around the corner to another path and then up. And then we've got a leader who's taking us up there. And then finally we get to the place where we're going to go to, there's this huge, going to be a break for lunch, but there's been a rain in the past couple of days and the whole camp has gotten, you know, sort of washed out and all the provisions and everything else, everything's gotten soggy and everything else. So there really isn't anything but water there for us to drink for our lunch. So we're going to have to keep on moving. But the nice thing is we've got water for our rucksack and we can keep walking because there's going to be dinner later. So we finally make it up to the next path and we start walking for the rest of the afternoon. And it's the sun's out and we really can open our shirts and it's like, oh, it's such a peaceful place. You're being fed by just the air itself. It's like you know, imbibing it through every pore of your body so that as you walk, you actually feel stronger as if you did have lunch and you feel like, you know, I'm hydrated and I'm still ready to go. I've got more inside. Just there's not really a limit to what actually seems to be coming out of me as I keep, you know, wasn't prepared for this walk, but it looks like I'm really like having a good time. And as you finally make it up, you know, after a couple hours to the night camp, it's late in the afternoon, and there's this wonderful wooden location there's other people staying at that camp up here near the top of the mountain, and there's going to be a big dinner for some of the guests who are staying there also. And there's a man and his wife who run the beautiful lodge, and so finally got enough time just to clean up and come to the table where everybody's sitting for this wonderful dinner, which is amazing in that it's all, you know, these wooden walls that are all just been there for who knows how long, but just so beautiful and ancient and still in great condition. This long wooden table, this beautiful white tablecloth that has all this type of filigree on all the edges and this beautiful china in front of every person. And then there's people from all different countries that you get to meet and you can talk to them and connect, and everybody's interested in chatting because it's sort of, we've all been on this road together, haven't we? So, and you're finding they're going to stay for a few days at this camp because it's such a beautiful view, and the couple that runs the lodge make such good food, and you've got beautiful crystal in front of you. And matter of fact, the water vase over there, you can see it in the center of the table, actually has a handle on it that is, even though it's crystal, it has sort of a flower that makes up the handle that you can pour the water from in the water pitcher for each one of the people. And as you're sitting there, you get to see people across from you that, I don't know if you can tell, but they sort of look like people you recognize something about them. Maybe they're of a like mind and interest, just like you, that they have something inside of them they can't wait to share that would be enriching, that would be useful for you, and you've got things to share for them. And you sort of decide, these are good people. I really want to connect with them, and I'm glad I'm staying for a couple of days. So staying up here at this lodge, it's something that, you know, you put a check mark here, you know, in your pathway and saying, you know, this is a good place to take a break, come up and visit these people. I want to get to know them even more in terms of my chance to just express myself. And you take a walk outside after the dinner and you get to see the beautiful surroundings at nighttime with all the shooting stars up in the mountains, because there's no, you know, nothing obscuring this beautiful sky. And you can see all the shooting stars and all the small stars in the distance and the larger stars, the lights closer, and put another check mark and saying, this is a good place to come back to. And as you just let yourself float there, that gold, silver, platinum ball that was guiding you the whole way up here now sort of appears in front of you and creates this beautiful little like sled that you can, and it allows you to roll down the mountain smoothly. You don't have to walk down anymore. It just takes you down and around and down and around the mountain. As you descend slowly, coming down, even further down and around, as you descend through the clouds and then down through our atmosphere until finally you descend to this, gently lift off to this beautiful sandy beach. Wonderful beach that's warm, and you put your fingers in the sand. It's very soft. Sand doesn't even stick to your fingers. It's so nice. And you can feel the waves sort of coming up and back from the shore, just gently touching your feet. And you look down both ends of the shore, and it's so peaceful. You can put another check here. I want to come back. And then as you notice that silver, gold, platinum ball that's always rotating and guiding you, sort of directs you back to this way, and this sort of grassy knoll behind you, there's a big tree that has these big, strong branches in there forever, made of all the layers of life around it that are constantly being made. And a leaf sort of floats down from one of the branches, and it floats to the left, floats to the right, gently comes to land safely on the grassy area underneath the branch. And that's your signal that you want to keep your eyes closed and just get your hands together with your eyes closed. Nobody's watching, and just rub your hands together and get a little friction. Doesn't matter if your hands are cold, if they're warm, if you feel like it means something or not. And then after you rub your hands together just a little bit, put your hands over your eyes and just take that in. Just take that in. You can put your hands over your eyes. You can put them 6 inches away. You can put them close to you. It's wonderful. Just take it in all the way in. And you don't have to necessarily sense a temperature or a vibration. Just allow it. Allow it. Not every sense is something you're going to perceive right off the bat. But you do know actions that will allow you to keep gapping up. And this is one of them. And then rub your hands again and get a little friction and put it over your chest. Yeah, you can put it on your chest, one hand on top of the other or hands together, or you can put them at a distance. Some people can even put them far away and go like this. It doesn't matter what your distance is. It's just hold them gently against your chest and take that in. You deserve this. This is yours. Take this in. Take this in. Let it go all the way through into all your little vessels of your heart, the backside of your heart. Let your heart relax. Let it drop just a few millimeters. Let it take a break. Let those big vessels that are holding it up on either side just relax a little bit. Let the heart come down. Breathe that in. And then rub your hands together. Last place, we're almost there. Put them over your belly button. One hand on top of the other. And let it flow in. Just let it flow in. Take it easy. Let it go all the way to your back. But here, don't open your eyes yet. Now, make a wish, make a goal, make a, intention, something you'd like to have happen where you get to meet 10 wonderful people. It could be today, tomorrow, some other day, but 10 wonderful people, just like you did just earlier in our guided breathing. Meet 10 people that turn out to be wonderful assets for you, wonderful resources in business, in love, in romance, in health, in new information, in finance. Make a wish. Then take a deep breath, slowly feel your feet come back in the room, open your eyes. Now, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a smidgen of a break. The next person's coming on, and I've got so much more to show you. You're just going to be thrilled. But this was just the start of a guided breathing visualization. And we have so many for these to show you, but this is very similar to the one that Yasmin used. And you can see that there's no limit to your success. So we're going to take a break right now, and Maggie will come on, and I'll be right back. And I mean right back.
Hi, everyone. It's always beautiful after a breathing exercise. You're so calm. It's a lovely thing. Let yourself feel that. In fact, that's a beautiful thing to journal. You know, if you got to feel calm, for me, that's a big journalable item. That's a lovely thing to allow yourself to be calm and take some time for you. So it's a beautiful thing to write in your journal book. It's a beautiful win to write. This is a time you want to be an easy grader. If you're looking for what to write, don't assess if you think it's important enough. It all counts. It's all a great thing to be grateful for and to write in your journal your gratitude, because you want more of that. I can use a lot of calm. I bet you can too. So it's a beautiful thing to write. Let's all do that because we want that to repeat. And then we have the steps. You'll have the recording. You'll be able to play that breathing exercise and know that that's for, equanimity, for looking forward into your life, for all the joys and the things that bring you peace and calm. Thank you, Dr. B. And it doesn't matter if you followed everything, you just want to keep bringing yourself back to what Dr. B is saying. Silence anything that might be going on in your mind. You got this. And any way that you might be feeling as you're listening to him or getting ideas for yourself, those are all things you can journal. They're all wins. I love to remind people, including myself, to be an easy grader and just write down everything you think of as a win and put it in your journal and show the energy you want more of that. When you think kindly of someone smiles back at you. They're all beautiful wins. They're all things to add in your journal. You got rock star parking. Great thing to add in your journal. Something went quicker or easier than you could have imagined. That's a great thing to write in your journal. Seeing faces of people you love that remind you how people believe in you and you believe in them, that's a beautiful thing to journal. Even if you don't know them yet, they give you hope and courage and you feel like you're looking forward to life. That's a beautiful thing to journal. I'm so inspired by everyone's stories. In fact, it's a win for you if you got inspired with Yash and Yasmin and the other stories that Dr. B mentions to us. Those are all beautiful things to journal because we want lots of things that inspire us and give us faith and hope to take actions for our lives. Dr. B has always told us, it's not the book. It's not how beautiful the book is. It's just writing in it. Some people use itty bitty ones. Some people use medium. Some people use big ones. Whatever makes you happy. But being a part of a community that recognizes wins and things that are working, that's a really unique thing in our world. So thank you for being here so that we can have the conversation in our lives be about what's working and what's winning and have even more energy to fuel us. And you do that for me and you do that for each other. Thank you for being here, giving yourself this gift. And Dr. B has even more presence, if you will, for us, and more stories for you, and more ways that you can use this energy for success techniques. So here we go. We get Dr. B. I'm looking, I missed it. Okay, great. So Dr. B will be right back. And Yasmin, thank you for your story. That was so fun. I could just imagine that, and to see your thrill of it was just totally wonderful. You've absolutely made my journal. Thank you. I love that. France was open for about 10 minutes and you're like, it was great. Thank you. Thank you all. And just know that Dr. B knows you're here. So you are always getting energy in anything you do with him for energy for success. So anytime you replay a course or you replay this, you will get additional energy. And getting the energy is the first step to using all this beautiful energy. So you do these practices and the different exercises, the physical exercises, the breathing exercises, they're all energy for success exercises. And they fill you with energy. Oh, here we go. Here's Dr. B. He'll tell us the best. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Now we
Maggie, can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can.
You can see me?
Yes, sir.
Can you see my hands?
Yes.
Okay, so we got excitement coming up with your hands. So get ready, everybody. The next opportunity for you is just like in life. As we're going up, as you were doing that guided breathing visualization, you get to see more and more of the reality of the resources that this wonderful planet has for you. And the next person we're going to bring on is someone who's not here in the studio with me, but really is. He's not here in North America, but really is. And he's someone I met a long time ago when I was teaching in London, doing a course just like the one you're in. Only this one that I was doing in London was on stage with a huge audience in a big auditorium, live, a lot of people before COVID, just, a number of months ago. And he came up to me, his name is Tom, and he came up to me and he said, definitely, I need to do your program. And I said, hey, okay, I'm glad you like the talk and I'm glad you like the material, but what made you become so aware so quickly? I mean, I said, I've had people like that before, sometimes when I visit monasteries and in Asia, or places where people have been meditating forever, or they've been studying certain, disciplines about how you can be all you can be, high performance. So the joy is that this gentleman who's now on the screen, Tom, say hello.
Hi, Dr.
This
B.
is Tom, and Tom is talking to you directly from where?
The Netherlands.
You can hear him, right? Say yes. Everybody shake their head out there. I need you to shake your head. You can hear him because he's calling all the way from the Netherlands. And yes, he's, all these people, they're just emanating the energy. So you can't wait to hear what he's going to say. But let me just tell you a little bit about him first. So Tom, bear with me while I tell a little bit of your story that you told me, that I wrote down some of the facts here to be able to give the audience. So forgive me. There's so many things that happened after he came up to me and I said, hey, really? I mean, what made you have that big of a experience out of my explaining, just like a course like what you all are doing here, that you want to go further in other programs, the Dragon programs, and see what you can do with your life. And so let me just tell a little bit of your story and then you just fire away. After I finished speaking, he says to me, well, I've got a lot of choices coming up. I got to text this up here. He says, I have a lot of choices coming up, and I don't know if all the choices are going to be good ones. Some of the choices, he said, may be more work than value. You ever been there? Or sometimes you've got a lot of choices and they all don't look good. Sometimes the choices don't look great. You're trying to pick from which is the least not so good choice that you could try to turn into a good one. Well, he was sort of in that place and he was looking for where was he going to go and what was he going to do. So he started doing the Dragon program and winning no matter what your challenge program. And he started doing the practices with that. And he stayed in touch with the facilitators. As I told you, they're all expertly trained. And he started watching the videos every day and doing the practices every day. And also he enrolled his mother, who started doing the practices every day. And she and he started talking and working through different things. And he decided he was going to apply for a wonderful opportunity in one of these very, very high level Swiss institutions in the universities. And he was going to get an exchange and go on scholarship. And he used all the practices and there's only 2 spots and he got one. He was successfully in. It's all working. He says, Doc, this all works great. I love energy for success. All the practices work. And then what happened was, well, you tell them what happened. COVID hit and they stopped the you can't travel to Switzerland. What happened? Tell me. Or you were there and you had to come back? What happened, Tom?
So I was in a program there in an exchange, and I was having the best time of my life, and then everything was closed down. So I had a great opportunity to deal with those changes there.
Can you all hear him? Say yes, shake your head. It's loud enough? Yes, good. Okay, good, because I can hear him good. I want to make sure you can. Go ahead. So he was in the program, and you're doing great, and it was his heart's dream that he had gotten into this program, one of 2. Very high level thing. In Europe, it's very tough. It's a different educational system, in case you don't know. You just don't apply and they take a big class and some people make it, some people don't. Nobody makes it unless you really fight your way to these few select spots. And then the educational system is the Socratic method more than the sort of wide spray method that often is in some places. So he's there and he's being successful. And then what? They told you to go home, right? Because of what?
Yeah.
They closed the program or what? Huh?
Was moved online, the doors closed, and I had to go back to the Netherlands. And while I was there,
not for anything he did, it's just they closed the program because of the COVID. Yeah. Then what happened?
So I was there, and my immediate goal was to go back and extend my stay, be there longer. And I had this frustrated feeling because they kept shutting everything down. And like you said, I was in the program and I was doing the visualizations, the physical practices of energy for success, and the lectures every day, and connecting to this powerful community that is there as well. And yeah, before I knew it, I found a new solution. I got accepted for another semester. I could go back after a few months after the first borders opened again. And on my way back, I was elated. Everything was green light. Let's go. And then everything changed again and they canceled it. And that happened 3 times. I found new approaches every time, but they kept canceling. And afterwards, I was there for 3 more weeks. I had 4 exams to go, and they canceled it the last time. And now I knew I had to go back to the Netherlands again. I had to find something completely new housing, new stuff to do with my studies. And again, by writing goals and doing the physical practices of Energy for Success every day, I found not just a joy in this process, but also I found a new house that was better than I could have ever hoped for in the Netherlands. I found a internship that I could do and write my thesis. And I found many other projects that actually aligned in that time to go back. And the best thing is that my initial goal, that whole loop closed again, because there was a open invitation to come back to this university in Switzerland next year. And that's why I will continue to do these Energy for Success practices. So thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. B.
Hey, so this Swiss university, which is so top level, even though he was there, then he's not there, then he's there, then he's not there, then his own university, which he was using in exchange from the Netherlands to go to Switzerland, stopped having an exchange program. So that fell out. At one point, he was going to pay his own way to go. Forget about tuition being free with scholarship. He was going to earn the money. So that's with the thesis and everything else. He got a job. And then what happened is COVID came and so they stopped it. They stopped the whole program. So even though he could pay for it, they said, no, you got to still go back to the Netherlands. So think about it. I mean, he's smiling. I see your faces out there. Look at Clara. She's so adorable. And Anna Gomez and Nick and Garrett and Jan and Marius and Leslie and so many people, Vera. I mean, look at you. You're all adorable people, but would you like it if all of a sudden, you know, they kept saying, go back. And every time you went there, they said, no, you got to go back again. And they said, you got to go back again. Every time you got to go back. What was that like every time you got rejected? I mean, you're so pleasant the way you talk about it. And I know Energy for Success programs allow you to just stay in the game as if you're Wayne Gretzky, constantly moving over the ice. And even if you're practicing, you're ready to go. But, you know, come on, were you able to do it that way, or how did you get through all that? Tell us.
So in the beginning, it definitely wasn't a happy ride. I was frustrated. I felt like, oh, everything is shutting down, and how do I get back there? I can't get into these beautiful buildings in this country that I love being in. And after everything kept changing, I kept changing my approach. I actually found it quite joyful to find new solutions, because every time I found a new solution, something better came on my path. And well, towards the end, and now I'm actually in this with a smile every time a new change comes up. I'm doing so many Energy for Success practices that every time I feel that I'm being supported in the next shift to make in this journey.
Yeah, so one of the things I want you to realize about Tom is that as things got tougher, instead of getting where a lot of us used to go, you know, even as doctors, before I did all the work in China over the past 25 years, before that, a lot of people go, yeah, it's tough. Yeah, you got to share the baloney, and life has its ups and downs. What are you going to do? That's the matrix. So you're telling me every time the matrix came around you with somebody's downer conversation or something that was negative, you were okay. I'm looking down, his face is down here. You were okay with that? You could take it? Or because I heard from your facilitator, she told me that you just gapped up every time and did more practices. You started to be like me, doing 90 minutes or more a day of one, like we're going to show you a practice in just a moment, that allowed you to open more sensors and be more on your skis and more able to compete, huh? And come up with great ideas. Like all these people, you found someone to live with, you financed yourself. You actually did increase your practices more each day, huh?
Hours. And every time I did that, new, calm, creative solutions came and new opportunities arose. So absolutely.
Yeah, and the thing that you're not going to believe, so I really don't even care if you believe, I don't even not into belief. Actually, what I'm into is just you try it and see what happens, because we definitely know it works, and we've seen it for, you know, over 17 years, is that just like in Tom, is that the more you do the practices, what happens?
Well, you're not just seeing the new ways and winning ways that are ahead of you. It's also just, you're in ease and flow. you're in equanimity, you can actually create the next steps yourself. And instead of being controlled by the environment, it's actually a process that you can enjoy and create yourself. So that for me is,
Yeah, but wait. But what about if you have like universities or strong, these European strong people in Europe had, they've had history of what's going on in the world, and they tell you, Tom, the way you need to do it is like this. Or you have a voice in your head that says, Tom, really, the way you need to do it is go this way, do this, this, and this. Follow those people. You can't find the right way yourself. You don't have the capacity. Did you have any of that caca garbage come around you from the Matrix, from anybody, and you had to like bring yourself into the energy so that you could like stand there and just let it float by, just like driftwood when you're sailing? What happened?
absolutely. I had so many emails, calls, people around me where it didn't show that there was a solution right away. And three of the new solutions that I found were solutions that usually wouldn't be used, wouldn't be offered. And every time I found a new one, I was so excited that I would just really follow how I could use the trail that would work. And just like the practice that we just did, like go on the victories, go on the wins, and build that momentum each step, and all the rest I wouldn't need. But it was there. It was definitely there.
So you didn't have to go experiment taking frog venom or psychedelics or something to try to boost yourself to some high level that you hope that they promised you after you dumped all your cash into it, that you were going to be able to somehow be at an elevated level and forever it'd be great. You had the techniques now to be able to stay like you're a marathoner or a triathlete who knows that it's step by step that you get stronger, and then you got something to stand on. And I mean, I'm trying to push you off your foundation in this conversation, and he keeps getting smilier and smilier, you see? And in life, when you wake up out of bed, I'm trying to be devil's advocate, or try to push him a little bit, say, hey, come on. You made it through all this tough time, plus, you enrolled your mom and a friend and somebody else to be at the end. Then when things got worse, instead of going down, and I see Brian's on here, and he's a triathlete. When things are bad, Brian knows how to train. He doesn't go for the drugs. He goes for training, right, Brian? So he's a guy who's like someone who knows that, just like what you found out, the more you do these practices, the more you have free time. I know it sounds unusual, but I'm a neurosurgeon, and I hope she's watching. And she's from Hopkins. And when she first came to me, she says, I'm so busy and I have such a big group and I'm working all the time and I have emergencies in the emergency room. I said, so do I. She says, yeah, but you're calm and you're relaxed. I said, because I'm doing practices in between each surgery. She says, and that gives you more free time? I said, absolutely. And she says, that's how you're able to keep writing papers, doing research, traveling all the time, and still staying on top of your goals each day. And I said, yes, absolutely. And you'll be able to do it too. And plus it gets better. So has it gotten better for you since you've been doing all the practices, or was it just that tough time that you were able to make it through? How's it going now?
Now it's through the roof, Dr. B.
I didn't even know this. Look, I told you I'm pushing. I don't even know what these answers are. Through the roof? Really? Look at that smile. I'll take that smile. Yay. Good job. Good job. All right. So I know you just want to talk to Thomas. I'll just let him take the show with that smile, right? That's all you need. Him and Yasmin and Yash, they're all over. And he's calling us from the Netherlands, and what time is it over there, huh?
Don't even know. I think 1 a.m.
1 a.m. Okay, so he was on early because he didn't want to miss sharing this with you, because when I first met him, and it's really true, when I first met him, he was just like this. I'm ready to go in the energy for success. I go, how do you know? He just like this. He goes, I don't know, just my sense inside. So maybe you're starting to get that sense inside of you. And I'm telling you, there's an opportunity here, because my commitment is this commitment, just like what the Grand Master taught all of us, because one day we were with him, and I got to know him after a number of years, and especially when he said, I'd be willing to train you, after I was willing to take the risks of not making it, and even some people died in the process, which he told me could happen. Fortunately, I wasn't one of those. But the point is that I said to him one time, I said, we're all going through tough times, and Thomas went through tough times. Life has this matrix that you're constantly fighting back and forth. The yin-yang symbol isn't a straight line. It has this curve to it. So you're always fighting one thing or another, and you have to be successful. Otherwise, you're knocked off your skis. So I said, Grandmaster, it doesn't look like you make any mistakes. Look like you don't have any problems at all. And he turned around to me and he said, every moment, every day. I have as many problems and resistances as you do. I just catch them instantly. And my joy is turning them around, finding a solution using the energy right away, and then gapping up to the next level, expanding in my prowess every moment. So I went, well, got my miracle for the day, and that became my mission for myself and for you all, to bring you these programs so that you can gap up in your prowess every day in every single one of these areas that I want you to look at. They're all involved in like 8 different areas, and we'll go into that over time with you in programs that, you know, both your physical health and prowess, flexibility, your financial success, your relationships, getting better for personal with other people and yourself, being in looking forward to in life, in equanimity, being able to like actually stay in the zone and flow in the sweet spot, being able to actually have serendipity on command, have so many good things happen that you're going to know when the next great thing is going to happen. Then also being able to, you know, have the creative part of yourself. We have so many creative writers and movie people who write movies and comics, and people do theater and write books. It's wonderful for being able to be productive using the energy techniques, just like Tom. And then, you know, the other ones we'll go into another time, but they're also opening the Einstein part of your brain so you make smarter and smarter decisions. So zone and flow, that's going to be a given. So what if I were to show you now one of the physical exercises that I worked through with Tom back when I first met him in London, which I think will be fun for all of you. Would you like that? How about that, y'all? Would you like that? Can I see some head nods? Anybody? Let me see you nod. Yes. You are y'all? Is any? Wait. It's 1 in the morning for him. Can you handle it? Gene, Huckle, can you handle it or not? Are you ready to do some exercises? Okay, so what I like for you to do, you can either sit or you can stand, but I want to show you these exercises. You can do it anywhere. I do this at my desk sometimes. This has different stages to it. So you want to learn it, and then you'll practice it again, and then you'll find out that it becomes easier and easier and easier and more fun. So we'll do a little test in the beginning. So just put your hands together for a second, and you can stand or sit. Remember, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Take a deep breath. Keep your eyes open. And now, look, in the beginning, you can just put your hands together, and you'll notice that your hands, doesn't matter. We're not going to play that game. Can you put your right hand on your left hand and what feels comfortable? We're not doing that. We're doing, these are ancient practices that are the source of all the different martial arts, and you'll see that this will enrich all your motions. So put your hands together, and then as you do that, you'll notice that you can move your hands like this somewhat. Okay, just relax your shoulders, do it. I'll help you, don't worry. The energy is flowing throughout the entire course. And you can do it back the other way, see? You can do it like this. Now, this practice is something you want to be able to do, but it's much more fun if you do the stages before the practice. So why don't we do the stages before? So here's the first stage. Ready? So separate your hands. Come on now. Wait, is everybody with me? I'm looking on the screen here. Separate your hands. Claire, are you doing this? So then as you separate your hands, make them loose like dish rags and make them go like this. Look. Ah, da, 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 da. Now, wait, your shoulders have to relax. Relax those shoulders. Smile. Chin up, head back. That's it. Let your neck relax. None of this forward. Here. Relax your back, stomach in, but not in like sucked in, but just, you know, not sticking it out. You just want it relaxed flat, like you're wonderfully supported. And let your hands just shake. And you can shake, this is one, this is another one, and this is, but wait a minute, this isn't just enough. This is just the beginning. Just let them become dish rags so that they're just doing their thing. Trisha, you're doing it, good. All right, so now, good. Dave, you're doing it, good. Yeah. Who else is up there? Yasmin's doing it all the way over there. All right, now, wait, that's not it. What if you were able also to go dish rag this way? Let's dry off that dish rag. Now, your elbows have to be relaxed. Your shoulders have to be relaxed. Your neck has to be relaxed. Relax that shoulder. Put your shoulders down. Brian, shoulders down. Let them relax down, sideways. That's it. You got it. Let them relax. Let them relax. And they're going this way. Now, wait a minute. Wait, that's not enough. The dish rag, let them looser. Because in China, you want to be able to really flap them around, but that'll be later. You'll see that. But then that's not enough. You can also go like this. Let's wash those rags out this way. Now, your shoulders and your elbows, they're completely relaxed. They're not doing anything. It's all wrists. It's all wrists. And look, you can do one this way, but then like this. Are you with me? Now we're going to go to big screen in a second. You'll see we're going to enlarge. I'm going to raise my hands in just a second. I'm going to raise my hands above my head. But you keep doing this. Now, wait, let them go. Come on. These are dish rags. And then up here, hey. So you see me on the big screen? Do I need to get back? Am I on the screen? Can you see me? Cameraman, am I there? Am I on there? Yes. Get back farther. All right, get them back farther. I'll get out here way into the, way to where those sirens were that destroyed. Now see this? Hey, well, let them roll. But not just that. Go like this now. Now, when we used to do this, you started like this. We used to do this in China for endless times, not just, Brian and Yash, a bunch of people go, how many times? Well, it started with 10, 15, 20, until finally you're doing 100 in a row. But it's easy because you're not moving it. You want the energy to move it. That's why it doesn't hurt your elbows. It doesn't hurt your shoulders. It doesn't hurt your back. Hold your stomach in a nice firm way. Some of you know how to hold your abdomen so that it's supporting your spine, but let your hands and then go up higher, high. And oh, wait, I can go out this way too. Ha, 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 look at that. I've got a dish rag everywhere. And this way too, look, this way. Come on, let the energy float it. You don't have to do any of the work. Now it's this way, now it's that way, now it's this way. Just like life, it's always getting you ready to change. Let your back relax, let your stomach relax, your chest relax, this way too, this way too, this way too, this way too. Now watch what's gonna happen. We're gonna come back here for a second, take a deep breath. Breathe. Let your hands just float. Let them float. Let them just float. You can smile. Keep your head up. Relax your back leader forward. You can keep your eyes open. Whatever's holding you up is there for you always. It's always here for you. It's here every moment. And all these practices are so that you can actually access every part of the thousands and thousands and thousands of sensors you've got to be able to use them for your financial success, your relationship success, your health success. But as your hands start to meet closer and closer together, watch what you can do with that thing we were doing before. So put your hands together slowly, like that. Put them together slowly. I'll wait a second. Now, keep your shoulders relaxed, please. Jean, shoulders down. That's it. Good. Very good. Anna Gomez, shoulders down. That's good. Dr. John, shoulders. There you go. Clara, that's good. Deep breath. Now, with your hands lightly held together, now watch what this is like. Tell me what it feels like now. Come on. Notice you don't have to do it anymore. Something else can do that for you and go both directions. Come on. Anybody nod your head if you notice it's much easier now. Did anybody notice it's much easier? So is life going to be. Just like Tom and Yasmin and Yash are trying to get you to get, if you do these practices, now you don't have to do just this one. I've got lots of them in the Dragon program for you. I'm committed to your future, that your whole life becomes this much easier as you go through every moment. And that's how your surgeries are going to be easier, your financial decisions are going to be easier. Everything is going to be so much more smooth, so that when you finish doing that thing, then you'll do the next thing and the next thing, and then you'll reach out to the loved ones and do this thing. So there isn't a limit to how much more inflow in looking forward to the joys of your prowess increasing. And that's the part that people get confused about as far as your prowess. Your prowess actually is more of a smooth, enlivening experience. It's not like, or this big shoot of serotonin or dopamine from some drug. There's nothing wrong with people experimenting with medications if they want to, fine. But I'm saying that won't get you to the place where you've got a platform. And what you want is like a strong tree, to be strong with your platform every day, that you're getting, so that the wind can blow you back and forth like the bamboo, but you always stay strong. So you're able to persevere through everything, and you don't get pushed over by anything. You're able to move just like your hands did. So I want you to have this exercise, keep using. We have more for you, but I have something else to tell you. Let me just give you this information. One of the most common questions I get is, Dr. B, do you work with people like me? People say that. Do you work with people like me? And the answer is, just like with Thomas and like with Yasmin and Yash, the answer is yes. And the next thing for you all is this wonderful Energy for Success Dragon, winning no matter the challenge. That's the name of your program. It's a 3-month program. And it's a wonderful, wonderful course, which is so built layer, like a strong tree, that has not only I'll be involved in the course with you, but also all the facilitators who are excellently trained. And they weren't trained just in one day, and they weren't just given a certificate like all the programs that are out there, or just given some peripheral person says, go manage this person. They're all monitoring you in your sessions that meet every 2 weeks. And you get a group, and Thomas was on that and used those sessions while he was progressing through all those ups and downs, and you'll be able to do the same thing. And what else is in there is that every single month you get a brand new mental acuity exercise and a brand new Energy for Success physical expansion of your prowess exercise, a practice. And then that's not all. You also get every month a brand new, like the guided breathing visualization we did, you get one of those, Energy for Success, Dragon, expanding your prowess, guided breathing visualization. And you get the live interactive video calls, and you get the expert team. And what's so nice about the video calls, Thomas will tell you, and Yasmin will tell you, is that you get to talk, you get to interact. You're not just sitting there going, oh, I have nothing to say, I can say. No, there'll be verbal and video connection. So I think we're going to show it on the screen now. You got it up? Thank you. So I've now gone through it verbally, and you've got the facilitators, and you're going to be blown away by these people. So let me see if there's anything else here about this. So I hope you can see it. Nod your heads if you can see the screen. Does it show it okay? Is that a yes? Okay, thank you, thank you. I love the interaction here. Y'all are so beautiful. Did y'all dress for this event? Y'all look better than what I was expecting. I mean, this is really, not that I'd catch you home in your jammies. You guys are all like nice. So anyway, this wonderful program, which usually this Dragon, oh, you also get your own special Dragon Facebook group. And it's your group. So it's a unique group that is private. So you get to communicate about your wins with Tom, Yasmin, Yash, whoever else is in that group. And they're all just interested like you in winning. And this is my goal, really. My goal is that, come on, you know that in this world, if you could have it since you were a little one, you'd love to have connection with the people down the street. You'd love to have friends. You'd love to have close family everywhere. They're there for you. But you have to find people that are pursuing, wanting to make it in life just like you and win-win. And this is a group of people that are drawn to it because they're interested in them having something succeeding in the energy and you having something. So any of the sharing that's going to be on there, you'll see your mirror neurons are just going to chime in. Even if you don't share, you can listen and catch on what's going on. We have people that are on these groups that are CEOs of major corporations, major athletes, in NFL, NHL, that you just recently saw on the TV as far as basketball. They're listening too because you get the value, whether you're driving or whether you're listening and watching, it's all going to be something that's for you. And the best thing about it is that normally on the website, you can purchase this for about $291. But for you all, for just the next 3 days, that's it. So if you're listening now, you get 3 days. That's it. We opened it up for you. Don't go to the website because the price is still $291 there. It'll stay that way. But for you and your friends and your family and your colleagues and people that you care about, you get it for $167. And that's if you register in the next 3 days. But you got to register right away because it's then going to go away. And for those people that register immediately in this session while it's going on, I think we made one more thing. So please, you can see the link below, energyforsuccess.com/winning, or just use the link in the chat box, energyforsuccess.com/winning. I'll give you a second to click on that right now. Click on it, make sure it works. Shake your head that it works. Someone shake their head. 1, 2, 3. Good. Please register, because the people who register right away, I think we made a special gift. It's one other gift that's coming up. Well, we're going to tell you about it. Oh, yeah. So there's another gift that normally costs about, that's it, another $300. And it's your own special app that has these other qualities on the app, other things that are included in addition that become part of your Dragon program that you alone will get if you register right away in the next, what, how many hours they have? Next 30 minutes? I just was told 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Did you hear that, Dave? 30 minutes. Did you hear that, Marius? 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, then you get the app too. So I think that's really wonderful. You don't want to miss that. But look, I want you to be in that group because I want to be with you. I want to be at your first session. And if this is your first time with Energy for Success, I understand. You've got like, okay, there's a million things I could be worried about, a million things I could be concerned with. Okay, put that aside. What if all you were doing was being more and more powerful each day, and then I'm handling this, I'm handling that, and I don't have to put myself into some type of super powerful state that's who I am. Just like when you're a kid. Just like my nephew who was just recently, 5 years old, and he was crying because he fell out of a tree. And so my sister went over to him and said, because of COVID, she didn't want to touch him, and said, "Are you okay, Simon? I mean, do you want me to do something or help you?" He going, "I think I'm going to climb it now." She said, "You're going to climb it now? You just fell out and hurt yourself." He goes, "I'm going to do it." That part of I'm going to do it is what I want you to access in yourself all the time. That's in there since you were 5. It just got mullied over by the matrix, by things that interfere with you on social media, on the news, on TV, in your head, the voices in your head. That's another thing most people will tell you. Tom, you can see how calm and all these other people are. Those voices in your head sort of descend away because a lot of it is, misinformation. I talked to a wonderful gentleman yesterday, maybe he's watching, and he says it's really the noise, isn't it, that has nothing to do with the true signal that is. Yeah, and I said the world is set up for resources. There's so many resources every minute. We just have to be able to be clear enough to see them. And with these Energy for Success techniques, you're going to find that you're going to be able to do it, so you can trust doing that. And the price is going to be $167 for 3 months. It's slashed. Plus you get this app if you register right now. And whether you're familiar with the practices or not, you're going to find out they work. I have clients that are all the way over in Asia in some of the Shaolin monasteries. I'm in other monasteries throughout both sides of the globe. So it really doesn't matter whether, what your language is. It works for you. I've worked with people who didn't even understand the specific English, but the vibrations of what the practices are and the breathing practices are enough that your sensors chime with that. So don't miss this opportunity. This is something that once you get in, I'm telling you, the results have been repetitive. We have over 70,000 testimonies of people who have been able to do this over and over again. And no program, there isn't any program out there that has live, interactive, truly caring facilitators who are real people that are very well trained. They're going to be meeting with you to take all your questions and work you through the program just so that you can have your successes, because I and they get turned on by having more people in the village who are winning. And I want you to be winning, and this whole program is about you winning. So you've got the link in the chat below, energyforsuccess.com/winning. And there's really one more thing I have to tell you. So besides my mission, my goal with the Grand Master, that you all be winning and gaining your prowess all the time, there's my joy in seeing you win is excitement that I have. And I'd like to go into this major question. But I wanted to ask you one small question.
Dr. B, you sound gurgly.
Gurgly?
Yeah.
Gurgly? All right, when did that start? Just now?
Yes. Yes.
All right, that's just when we had a question. We had a question. Do you have a question, Q?
You're fine now. You're fine.
Okay, thanks for bursting in. What's your QA? Do you want me to say a question? Let's see. Oh, so would you like for me to answer a few questions, or you want me to tell you this one last closing fact? Can anybody take it? Daniela, you decide for everybody. Look at that cute face. Should we answer a few questions? What do you think? 1, 2? All right, so first question was, these were all written in by you all. And Bobby was the one that promoted this, so I hope you like it. So how long does it take to get results in your course? Well, as you see with Tom, with Yasmin and Yash, if you start doing the practices, you're going to get results maybe the next 5 minutes. For me, how did you feel after you did this practice when we were doing this and your hands started moving again? That took less than 10 minutes. And all of a sudden, don't you feel a little more like in the zone right now? Don't you feel a little more? And after this presentation, and you can watch this again and share it with your friends, you're also going to be feeling more and more you're in the energy flow, because we've been embedding in the entire media the energy vibrations of having you be in the winning side of the vibrational scheme of the yin-yang symbol. That's what I want you to have. So it doesn't take long at all. And with bigger problems, you'll just chip away at them bit by bit, and you'll learn how to do bit by bit. Next question. What times are best days to do your energy practices? Well, for me, I don't believe you should wake up in the morning without being ready to take on life. You just, while you're asleep, New York, the city never sleeps. San Francisco, the city never sleeps. Most cities, most world, we're now a flat planet. It doesn't sleep. So really the matrix doesn't sleep either. The misinformation, they're still doing orange cones while you're asleep. So you really want to not get out of bed until you're ready to do your practices. So I always recommend, as soon as I open my eyes, that the second I get up, I start doing my 90 minutes. Now, you might start with your Dragon program, which I very much hope you join me in, that you'll spend maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but then you can repeat it and do other practices we've got for you throughout the day so that you can keep getting more and more up on your game, because I want you to be winning at all 8 of the great 8, which is the promise of this course, as you keep moving along, as you make your goals. You're going to see how to make your goals in the course. We're going to instruct you in that. So what time is the best? For me, it's the first thing in the morning, and then usually in between cases, and then before lunch. Sometimes I'll do something, and definitely sometime in the afternoon or before evening. What other question? Oh, some people want to know how Thomas got his mother enrolled in the energy. So let me just put these questions over here that I can see them easier. How did he do it? I don't know. You want to bring Thomas back on and find out how he enrolled his mom? How did he do it? Thomas, you still there?
Absolutely.
Do you go back to sleep at 1:30? Huh?
I'm here.
Let me see his face. Where is he? You know how I am. On the moment, you have to be ready. In life, you got to be ready, Thomas. It was 1:30 in the morning. Brian, wake up. All right, let's go. All right, Thomas, how did you enroll your mom? What'd you do? Did you just smile, that gorgeous smile of yours, or what? What'd you do?
Well, I had the opportunity actually to spend time with her for about 2 weeks, to be in the same house, and I did my practices every day. And every day I also did my energy for success visualizations, and I could show her all that material, and she could feel what was happening to me, and she could feel what was happening in the room, and what was happening to her. And I think the experience speaks for itself. It's the most powerful way to go into more of it. And then she signed up.
Yeah. So you'll find that when you send this video and tell other people to register during this short period of time that we've got this special going on, tell them, hey, just register, would you? You're going to find out, like Tom's mom, that you can't help it. Your mirror neurons pick it up, and you'll only be benefiting them. Don't you want to give somebody a Christmas or Hanukkah present before that time? This one is incredibly beneficial to them. Don't you want to contribute to other people? This is your chance. Have them just get in this course and say, hey, you're going to like it. Just like when somebody brought home, in the days when they used to bring home all kinds of special things, foods and things, and you had never tried it first, and go, you're going to like it. And you do. You'd find out that, oh, I do like that. So you're going to find out this is something that's going to grow within you, for you. Doesn't matter what your background is, your training, where you come, we're all human beings, all of you. And it takes a village, and we're all going to make it with each other, together. That's the only way. And we've already proven 2,000 years of war that you're not going to make it just, carnage if we try to make it against each other. So aggression, fighting doesn't do it. What brings us together is this connection. And then you can make it all the way from Canada over to France and meet a wonderful family who then embraces you and you never knew that was even possible. So let's see if there's any other questions. How successful can I be using the course? I don't think there's a limit. Look at Thomas. He was knocked this way, knocked that way, and kept moving up each time. So every time you get knocked, if you don't get knocked down, you get knocked up. I'm sorry. Every time you get knocked down, you get knocked in the direction you want to go. Then that's really wonderful, isn't it? So you get a special, acceleration. And that's why all these courses are accelerator courses. So last question. Someone said, I'm a busy person. I said, well, look, what about our neurosurgeon from Hopkins? She's not only a teacher, not only in research, not only in busy practice, but she has to go to the emergency room, and plus she has a child and a husband. And now she has more time that she's opened up a brand new practice in addition to what she was doing previously, because she has more free time, because she's so much more efficient and effective. And you know that when you're in that flow zone state, what you do works. And when it works, you can stand on that and do it again and again and again, and then take on more. And the only reason we don't take on more is you start stumbling, you start getting knocked around, you start dropping things, you start falling into problems. And what I want you to do is to smoothly work through that. You've got people around you that are just so much wanting to work with you and be with you, but that space to open up, that you see these 3 people opened up to be able to connect with, will create so much more free time, because then you're doing it with another person together. You're not alone anymore. You're going to be going through life where you have more free time because you've got more fun people to work with, because you're in this village where we're all going for it together in the Dragon program. So in closing, I just wanted you to know one thing that's so important to me is that there's no doubt that you have an experience inside of you ever since, like when you were a 5-year-old, that you've got some wonderfulness inside of you. Really, you're more wonderful inside than you really get to feel or sense or know. And some people say, well, you don't really get to experience that except at rare times or when you're young. But no, it's not true. You're meant to be experiencing that every moment. You're more wonderful inside than you've ever even realized or experienced. And we have programs for you in this Dragon program so that you can grab that experience and keep running with it right now. You're more wonderful than you've ever had a chance to give yourself an opportunity to experience on a consistent level. Join me in this wonderful winning program, and let's do it together. I so much love being with you today, and all of you who joined us backstage. And is there anybody else with any other messages from anybody? What's that?
So for people who want to up-level to your mastery track, because people are asking, we will give them the same dollar amount off their first month of that program if they want to do the bigger, more robust course.
Okay, some of you out there have already gone through certain the Dragon program and want to go to the mastery track, which is just further, farther, faster. And I understand that. That's like Thomas, who wants to like zoom. And we even have programs above that. We have a private client group, and we even have special meetings with me, which very, very VIP presence of countries and top CEOs, which are, you can call in and talk to a facilitator about that. But the course you're talking, how do they register for the mastery track?
We're going to make a new link for them.
Is it going to go on this? How are they going to get it? I'm learning this just as you are. Come on, bear with me. Do your thing, do your thing, do your thing. Get your energy going. Come on, Brian. Let's go. Leonard, hands. Leonard, come on, wake up. Clara, Vera, get your energy going. Come on, there's no reason for you to back down in life. No matter if this is new information or not, you've got a chance to gap up. Don't let anybody say, oh, well, Uncle Joe is here, and so you really got to take a back seat while he talks. No, you can still pull the energy in even while he's talking. You know, holidays are coming up. There'll be a lot of people talking at the table. You can be doing this under the table. Look at Danielle, it's so cute. Jesus Christ, I can't believe it. All right, do you have an answer? How are they going to get it?
Yeah, if they email Harmony, I'm putting her email in the chat box. They'll get the discount for the mastery program if they want it.
Okay, we have a program. I didn't know I was going to tell you about this, but we have a program called the Mastery Track program. And it's video program. It's completely robust. It's more intense in that I'm asking you to do more homework, more things to do each day, but you're going to be gapping up faster. So if that's for you and you think, oh no, I don't have time to fool around. I'm like the neurosurgeon. I got to get my day organized. I need time. I've tried time management courses. I got 5 time management courses books in my bathroom. I got 3 books about getting rid of clutter. I got 2 books about, stress-free life. You don't have time to read them because your life is flummoxed with, I'm upset about this thing happened in my parking place. I'm upset about I just got thrown out of my school. I'm upset I just got accepted this great scholarship, but the school then backed out. My mother's school. In other words, there's so many things in life that look like they're a problem, but really they're orange cones. They have nothing to do with your path in life. And your path in life is one that's going to be more and more successful because it's set up that way. And in the mastery track, it works on your getting your life set up that way in each area each day. And it's a bit rigorous in that, there's practices for you each day. They're not difficult. They're no more difficult than these things, but there are things that I want you to do, and I'll be following you. And it also has more, they get a group call, don't they, every day? That they get to call in. Thomas and other people calling from around the world on those calls. So Thomas will be in on those. So on those group calls, they happen, once a day or twice a day?
Once or twice a day.
Once or twice a day every day. The master track is once or twice a day every day. And it's Monday, Tuesday. It's only on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and all holidays. I think it's every day of the year. So that course is more intense because people are sharing because of victories all over the world, and you get to listen whether you're, person who's want to share or not, just like in your Dragon program, but that one occurs every day. And in the Dragon, you're having a video every 2 weeks. This one you have a video sharing, but on this one you have audio and you have other video courses that go with it every single day. So if you want to enroll in that, there's going to be a price break on that too. Really? All right, great. For the first 3 months, called the Mastery Track. What?
For the first month.
For the first month. And that was a bonus on top of the bonus on top of the bonus. You guys, all right. So are you clear that if you haven't done anything and you want to get started, the Dragon program's for you. Do it, start it right now. Everything about it is set up for you to win, including getting the app. Register now. I want to see you there. I want to see you there. I can't wait to see you with your first meeting. For those of you like I've already accomplished that and I want to move further, or you want to jump to that, just see the link. It should be in the chat now from Harmony. Yeah, and it'll say the words Mastery Track.
It'll say Harmony's email, and it'll say Mastery Track, and they can email her, and she'll send them the link.
Yeah, so you just email her and she'll send you that. But for the rest of us, let's do the Dragon and let's get going. Do you know I had fun with you today? Do you know I had fun with Yasmin and Yash? Can we show their faces real quick so everybody can see them again? So Yasmin, say hello from Canada or in France, wherever you. Can we bring Yasmin up? Can you do that? We just saw Tom. So let's see Yash and Yas if we can see them real quick. One more time.
Thank you, Dr. B.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, I'm telling you, what more is there that I need? That's it. That kind of energy. I want to meet her. I want to know her. I want to be with her. So I would be with you on your, on your group call, on your audio call. I'm going to hear what Yasmin has to say, and I'm going to hear what Yash has to say, and Tom. Look, we got all 3 on there for you. I'm loving this. I don't know about you, but doggone COVID can be a problem for you, or it can be this. And this is what these people have done. Oh, show me the heart there. I like that. Do that again, yes. What was it? How do you do it? Look at that. Look at her. All right, everybody, thank you for attending. Thank you for sharing. I want you to know that I had such a joy being able to present this to you, and there's so much more. There's so much more. This goes back 5,000 years of information. The emperors of China used this all the way down through Confucius, through Lao Tzu, through all the greats, so that you could have a great life. Don't deny yourself this opportunity. I'll see you on the other side. Thank you for being here today.